Good to see you again. We're back at it on this Monday, 28th day of June, 2021. I am Dan Kuntz. Hope you had a good weekend. I hope you stayed cool, but the worst, as far as the heat is concerned, is yet to come. First of all, some shop cut talk. Let's do some housekeeping. Saturday's high, 102, tied the record high for June 26th, which was set back in 2015. We all remember the heat wave of 2015 and the Sleepy Hollow fire. Yesterday's high, 107. That was a new record for June 27th. The old record was 105, set back in 2015. The record high for today, 109. That was set back again in 2015. We're going to blow right past that. We're going to set, if this forecast holds up, and they've been doing pretty good on that, we're going to break the all-time record high today that's ever been recorded in the Wenatchee Valley. That was 110 degrees, set back on July 17th, and then again in July 18th of 1941. We're going to break an 80-year-old record today, and we're going to do it again tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the peak of this heat blast, and even it's going to start cooling down, but it's going to be so incremental, you're not really going to be able to tell much. The heat watch, excessive heat watch, remains in effect until 7 o'clock Thursday. That massive ridge of high pressure, which is just parked over the Pacific Northwest. It's right at the Washington-Canadian border. We're just cooking. We're going to cook again today. No relief in sight. Forecast details are coming up hot. That's all I'm going to tell you. 79 right now. Relative humidity is at 42%. The relative humidity is going to go down to about 13 or even 12%. That's bone dry. Whew, warm. In the news, lots of news involving the city of Wenatchee. They got some big-time money to do these improvements, transportation improvements around the valley, $92 million, as a matter of fact, so they're almost there to their goal. We'll have that story when we get to the news. And also, Applets and Collets found a buyer, and they're going to stay open. That's good news for you friends out in Kashmir. Sports, pretty good road trip for the Mariners continues. They'll be in Buffalo to take on the Blue Jays. Not a bad weekend in the Windy City, but the Apple Sox had a pretty rough road trip. They were 2-4 on their road trip, and now they're back at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium starting tomorrow night with a couple of changes that you need to know about. First of all, they're going to start the game an hour later. They're going to start it at 7:35 or 7:30-ish, right around there, but it's still going to be brutally hot at the ballpark tomorrow. We'll have sports. Also, the obscure holiday today in history, some celebrity birthdays. Everyone's entitled to Mike McNalty's opinion. And throughout the course of this week, off and on, we'll be talking about the Let's Have a Blast Independence Day fireworks celebration, which will be held once again at Walla Point Park on Sunday, Independence Day. Malachi Salcido of the Salcido Connection is one of the title sponsors. We had a chance to visit with Malachi late last week at the park, and we'll have that interview for you in the back half of the hour. And by the way, if you're making plans to be at Walla Point Park on Sunday for the holiday, pack the sunscreen and the water. It's still going to be well into triple digits, even on July 4th, which is something that we're used to around here, but the heat is just going to be impressive. And oppressive, I guess might be the better word. All right, it's 3 minutes after the hour. Let's take our tour around North Central Washington, and we begin with the cross camera. Again, you can almost visualize the heat. It's just warm. We just got to 80 degrees, and we're just now 4 minutes into the program. And again, we're going to set a new record today, and we're going to set a new all-time record today, and then a new all-time record on Tuesday. New record will come our way on Wednesday, possibly even Thursday. When this whole thing is said and done, we could go 6 or even 7 consecutive days setting new record high temperatures. So this is the summer you're going to look back and remember back in the summer of 2021, kids? This is the kind of heat we're talking about. Camera number 2. I have no idea what I just impersonated there because my grandfather sounded nothing like that. Boy, that looks idyllic. Is that Lake Wenatchee? Looks to be our Two Rivers camera at the top of Lake Wenatchee. Go hop in that baby. It may be cold, but it's going to be quite refreshing. The two rivers, the White River and the Little Wenatchee River, flowing into the top. And then, of course, it becomes the Wenatchee River at the bottom of Lake Wenatchee. Good morning. Nobody's going to escape the heat. It'll be triple digits up there, folks, where you're sitting at Lake Wenatchee on this Monday morning. Camera number 3. Megan wants to go visit the only piece of snow we can find. Is that Steins? That's Cougar Ridge. Oh, wow, okay. So we're looking out over still looking towards the monitor area. I'm pretty sure she has that pointed almost directly to the west. Cougar Ridge, of course, is above the Otobashian Bridge in East Wenatchee, but I think she has that zoomed in towards the Monitor Sleepy Hollow area. That's just guessing, but it's a pretty good guess. PTZ cameras, it's an acronym for pan, tilt, and zoom, so that's what we can do that. And camera 4. Good morning, Leavenworth. How are you? It's good to see you. The Tumwater Canyon camera. Again, there is no escaping the heat. It was 99 at the summit of I-90 yesterday. 99. Never seen that before. Seattle set an all-time record. Portland set an all-time record. Today, for them, is going to be the heat, the peak of the heat. For us, it's going to be tomorrow. Eventually, that big ridge of high pressure we've been talking about will begin to shift off to the east starting on Wednesday. The amplified pattern of heat will slowly transition, but although the temperatures are going to moderate, it's still going to be unbelievably hot right through the holiday weekend, all right? Let's not waste any more time. Let's get to it. First of all, the excessive heat warning from the National Weather Service is still in effect, and they may extend this. It goes on until 7 o'clock on Thursday. We have never shown that slide before because it's never had to be created before. If you are in purple, you're under the excessive heat warning for today. Again, it goes until 9 o'clock on Thursday, 7 o'clock Thursday for us. We've never shown that graphic before. And if you think that's weird, wait till we get to the forecast. The other thing we're worried about, red flag warning, there's going to be breezy conditions out in the Columbia Basin. It's going to be very hot. Relative humidity in the Ephrata, Moses Lake area will be down to about 10% relative humidity. And you combine that with the wind and the heat, there is a red flag warning for the Columbia Basin, not here for the Wenatchee Valley, but out in the Columbia Basin. There is a wildfire, about a 20,000 acre grass fire in Lind, which is in Adams County. Lind is about 110 miles due east of us. They got a pretty good fire going right now. Any fire that gets going over the next 10 days is going to have a pretty good head start to get going. But they're going to be breezy out in the Columbia Basin, not so much here in the Wenatchee Valley, but we still see a little bit of breeze. It's not going to be enough to, get you relieved from the heat. This is a forecast we've never shown before, ever. There you go. Lots of sunshine today, an all-time record high of 114. Our record high for today is 109, again set back in 2015. We'll be past that and then some. 115, 116, maybe even 117. Now remember, these are all in the shade, and these are all measurements at Payne-Bohr Memorial Airport. Down in the Wenatchee Valley, it could be warmer still, but this is where they take the official measurements. Overnight lows in the lower 80s is normally our afternoon high this time of the year. No real relief until we get to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but even then, as you can tell, well into triple digits for the holiday weekend, Saturday and Sunday. The oppressive heat, there is simply no escaping it. It started in earnest on Thursday, really got going on Friday, and we're going to see all-time record highs today. It'll be broken on Tuesday, record high Wednesday, record high Thursday. Whew. Unbelievably warm. Never seen anything like that. They say it's once in a millennium, which last I heard was about 1,000 years, give or take a couple. 9 minutes after the hour, going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have your Monday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Kids are resilient. I just love their energy. They bounce back so quickly. I love the stories they tell. I love just their charisma, their character. I love to see that subtle smile that you pull out of a kid, when you start talking with them about something they really like. I just love what I do, and I can't imagine I would be as happy doing anything else.
Hi, this is Brian Snyder with Black Rock Asphalt Services here in Wenatchee, your local Black Rock seal coat company. Have you looked at your driveway or parking lot lately? Is it gray and oxidized? Does it have cracks that have not been taken care of? Or do you have striping that is pretty much non-existent? Please give us a call locally here, 509-665-9769. Learn more at blackrockasphaltsealcoating.com.
81 degrees already in downtown Wenatchee. Record high temperature today. all-time record high temperature today, but we're going to be even hotter than that on Tuesday. Scorching hot weather for at least the next 8 or 9 days, with lots of records, long-time records are going to fall all this week. Here are your headlines. Wenatchee has been awarded a $92.4 million federal infra grant for its Apple Capitol Loop project, which will create traffic bypasses on North Wenatchee that includes a new bridge over the Wenatchee River. It is the largest infra grant awarded in the nation this year. Wenatchee Mayor Frank Kuntz said it's exciting news for the city and for East Wenatchee, which also has projects included in the package.
What we call the Apple Capitol Loop set of projects includes Confluence Parkway on this side of the river, and that includes an underpass at McKittrick Street, an underpass at Miller that goes underneath the rail crossings, and then a bridge that goes over the Wenatchee River and connects, in essence, to the highway on the way to Chelan. And then it's a parkway. It's scheduled to go 35 miles an hour. It's just two-way traffic. It's just a way to get out of town, not on Wenatchee Avenue. And we've all been on Wenatchee Avenue when there's been some sort of a traffic accident, and there's just no other way out. And so this provides another alternative for moving traffic on North Wenatchee Avenue. On the East Wenatchee side, there's projects that include some work out at Cascade and the Otabasha Bridge, and then there's some pedestrian improvements to the pedestrian bridge that both connect on our side of the tracks up and over to South Wenatchee, and then on the East Wenatchee side, it will connect to their new area they've just developed there to get the pedestrian traffic up and over Highway 28. So there's lots to what we call the Apple Capitol Loop group of projects. The federal government award today for $92.5 million, pays for about 2/3 of that project between the $92 million we got today and other state funding that we've gotten previous to that. So super great day for us and for our region. And we're so thankful to Mayor Pete and our two senators and Congresswoman Schreier for their work in making this happen, and Congressman Newhouse as well. So this is an incredible, incredible day. If you think about $850 million was the budgeted amount, and we got $92 million of that. We got in excess of 10% of the funding around the country from this round of funding came to our valley. So, we're not going to start construction tomorrow. My guess is the entire suite of projects will take, somewhere between 6 and 8 years to complete from start to finish. Some will go quicker than others, but this does give us a pathway to getting these components done in a way that benefits the region. And so we're just super excited to be able to start really pushing forward.
Speaking of the city of Wenatchee, they held a ceremonial sledgehammering on Thursday to launch the transformation of the former federal building into the new city hall. And what has been the post office sorting area, Mayor Frank Kuntz and Wenatchee City Council members took turns beginning the demolition work. Professional contractors, by the way, will take over this morning.
It's been someone asked me today, 3 or 4 years since we started this process about thinking of buying the federal building, going through a process to remodel our old building into the Social Security Administration, and then finally get started here today, and excited for what the next year will bring, excited to get both sets of staff working in one building. As council members, you make decisions a lot of time about something that happens next week or 2 weeks from now, and does this person get a permit to close the road, and then sometimes you make decisions that are 30, 40, and 50 years looking forward, and this is one of those, both in terms of purchasing the building and then the remodel that's going to take place. So Monday is the action day where all this stuff gets to happen. And we're just super excited to get this going. So congratulations to everybody in the room and our partners at Local Health. So hopefully it's not too bad on you, John, and on your crew as we start rounding this place up. But you knew that when you sold it to us, so we did. I think there was some extra money in that just because of that. So anyhow, super excited for all of that. So I think we'll start with, we got a wall over there, folks. So let's go ahead and get dressed. And we'll go over and we'll pound on that wall, and we've got some cupcakes and stuff like that. Ruth, look at you, huh?
These hats are funky.
Lift it up.
Oh, look at that.
Who's gonna find it?
Yeah, who's gonna find this stuff?
Good job, Mark. Oh, Jose's going big. I already know what's going on here, man.
There we go. All right.
Awesome. Good job. It's all yours, T.W. Clark. Let us know in a year.
Liberty Orchards, the cashmere maker of applets and collets, has been purchased by a company called KDV USA. Now, Liberty Orchards has been on the brink of shutting its doors before reaching a deal with KDV USA. It's a company associated with the KDV Group, which is a Russian producer of snacks and confectionery products. Liberty Orchards said the new company will continue full operations in Kashmir, retaining all the employees. Also, the free factory tour will continue. The retail store will stay open, the online store. According to the KDV Group website, the company owns 15 factories in Russia and offers 700 products. The community will gather on Wednesday in Ephrata to honor the memory of Alex Harville, who died last week at the Moses Lake Air Show as he was warming up to attempt a world record motorcycle jump. The public services will begin at 11 a.m. at the Ephrata High School football field. A GoFundMe account to assist Harville's wife and two young sons have raised just under $100,000 as of Friday morning. Harville was 28 years old. Governor Jay Inslee on Thursday said the state remains committed to lifting COVID-19 restrictions on June 30th, even though it may not reach its goal of vaccinating 70% of the eligible population by Thursday. Inslee said Washington has been mostly successful with his vaccination efforts in spite of what he said is misinformation being spread about the vaccine.
We've had considerable success relative to other states. That's a credit to Washingtonians who want to save their loved ones' lives. It's a credit to Washingtonians who have pierced through the massive misinformation that unfortunately they've been exposed to. They've been exposed to all kinds of deceptive lies about this vaccine. This is a life-saving vaccine. Hundreds of millions of people have had it. It has dramatically reduced this. 98% of the hospitalizations are people who have not been vaccinated out. It is incredibly effective. It is safe with almost no significant statistical deleterious effects. And Washingtonians have figured that out, even though they've heard lies repeated over the social media. There's no reason not to get this vaccination. Why the heck would you not get a vaccination that's going to save your life, is free, has no serious side effects, and has the added benefit of protecting everybody else that's around you that you love? Why would you not get this vaccination? Because after June 30th, people who are not vaccinated are still going to be required wearing a mask in indoor settings when they go to work. And we are seeing more people coming to that realization, geez, I can ditch this mask that kind of bugs me if I just get a vaccination. And we think that's going to be of increasing incentive. So there's reasons to believe that we will continue saving lives after June 30th.
Here we are, of course, it's wildfire season, and satellites have become a vital tool in fighting wildfires in our state. Allison Morrow of the Washington Department of Natural Resources explains the many ways images from space aid firefighters.
Hi, I'm Allison Morrow with your DNR report. NOAA recently released satellite imagery of wildfire smoke moving across Arizona. This shows a 12-hour time-lapse imagery, which is valuable for many reasons.
We utilize that imagery a lot, and there's all kinds of imagery out there that we use for identifying fire risk, detecting fires early, identifying progression of fires, and then also determining where severity and intensity has occurred. We can also detect smoke, and then we can utilize that imagery to build tools to help us predict where fires might go.
One of those tools is a map that shows where a fire is located.
For DNR, a lot of times we utilize the satellite imagery to detect fire location for early fire response. And then in our large fire scenarios, we can utilize satellite imagery to help us with heat detection, finding out where the hottest places of the fire are, and then help us determine fire progressions.
The imagery has also helped the Washington Department of Natural Resources speed up responses to wildfire.
Before, we would have to utilize aircraft, and we still do, but the imagery has just gotten better over time. The time that we receive that imagery has improved, going from maybe every few minutes to what used to be maybe 24 hours, 48 hours before we would get something usable.
And that means saving lives, land, as well as money.
So having the imagery just gives us more accurate, more timely, better intelligence about what's going on the ground versus maybe waiting for somebody to have to go out there to the line and recon themselves, send up an aircraft to recon. This has just improved our intelligence capacity immensely.
To see the latest satellite imagery uploaded by NOAA, visit noaa.gov.
And that's what's making headlines at 21 minutes after the hour. We do not have a promo. Let me just tell you that Grant will be back from his 3-day vacation. So Grant will be back in the anchor chair. That means I don't have to do the weather today. Whew. So good to have you back, Grant. Plus Eric with sports, and we'll have the news for you at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. And don't forget, chime in. If you got a news tip for us, we'd love to hear from you. You can use our Facebook page. Just go to NCW Life and go to the message, and we'll get it. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com. Or you can go to our homepage, ncwlife.com. You want to bookmark it because we populate it on a regular basis with the latest news and programs and all that cool stuff. And there's a contact us icon on the screen at our homepage. Okay, 22 minutes after the hour. Going to take a break. When we come back, we're talking Olympics, Mariners, and Apple Sox. When we get to sports, we'll have the obscure holiday. Today in history, quite a number of celebrity birthdays. Mike Magnotti has a very apropos opinion considering the weather, and my conversation with Malachi Salcido from the Salcido Connection, one of the main title sponsors of the Let's Have a Blast 4th of July party coming up this Sunday at Walla Point Park. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda power equipment? From snowblowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse?
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill, located at the beautiful Highlander Golf Course in East Wenatchee. Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner with dine-in or takeout options. Highlander Bar and Grill's friendly staff is here to serve you 7 days a week. Call for reservations Friday night prime rib dinner. Contact Shalane, Highlander Grill's site coordinator, to schedule your corporate event or special occasion today.
24 minutes after sports, the U.S. Olympic team is pretty much set. There were trials that were concluded over the weekend for Washington State residents. We'll be heading to Tokyo next month. Seattle's Nevin Harrison qualified to compete in canoe and kayak. Adrian Hegivari, who is also from Seattle, will compete in bicycling. Vancouver's Cara Winger will compete in track and field. And Auburn's Harrison Maurus will compete in weightlifting. The Summer Games set to begin July 23rd in Tokyo. Due to inclement weather on Saturday, the Mariners and the White Sox played a doubleheader of sorts. On Sunday, Game 1 was a carryover from the second inning of Saturday's game. The score is tied at 2. It would remain tied at 2 until Taylor Trammell stepped up to the plate with 2 outs in the top of the ninth.
Still has Vest, Graveman, and Middleton down there. Did he get another one? Looks like he did, and the Mariners have a 3-2 lead. Taylor Trammell, a 2-home run day. And it comes with 2 outs again. A big, big home run for Taylor Trammell. 2 today, gives him 8 on the season. 17 runs batted in. That's great production from your 9-hole hitter.
His first home run was on a first pitch fastball that he hit out of the ballpark. This time it's 5 pitches into it.
And he'd seen 98 a number of times, and here you go, the breaking ball, 87 miles an hour, center cut. Exit velo of 105, 387 feet, and he knew it.
It was Trammell's second home run of the game, and it gave Seattle a 3-2 win. However, the game was not without its controversy. Hector Santiago became Major League Baseball's first pitcher to be ejected for using an illegal substance.
I got to believe that is going to be it. They will wave bye-bye to Hector, bring in Chagua out of the bullpen, and he'll come in with the sacks full of socks.
In the first week of this, we have seen a lot of pitchers giving their equipment to umpires and then walking by immediately. That has not happened with Hector Santiago as he was coming off the mound here at Guaranteed Rate Field. The umpires have stopped him. Phil Cuzzy over at the edge of the field.
You know, there's a few things in the glove besides sticky stuff. Number one, you can take a look at the eyelets of the glove, and if they're raised, you're maybe scraping the baseball, or maybe there's something that can scrape the baseball and get extra movement. But it would appear that something was untoward in the glove of Hector Santiago, who can't believe it.
We have our first culprit of the new system of checking pitchers. Hector Santiago has been thrown out of the ball game. Scott Service doesn't like it at all, and with this, it's going to be a suspension, and you can't replace him on the roster.
You know, I'm wondering if, and you saw the umpire grabbing his wrist. Maybe there was something that he thought transferred from the wrist to the inside band of the glove, because that's what they were looking. They were looking over the inside band of the glove. Now the fans are booing Hector Santiago.
And Hector Santiago is the first person tabbed for the extra substance check and ejected from the ball game.
Now, both Santiago and manager Scott Service claim it was nothing but rosin in the glove, not an illegal substance.
You know, coming out in the first inning, I was looking for them because, said they're going to check the relievers after the every inning. First two innings, nothing came up. Third inning, coming out of the game, I'm expecting them obviously to check me every inning. I kind of joked around with them, moving like if I was going to run away, because I know I wasn't using anything besides rosin. What's given to us, because going into this, once it came up, I was just like, I'm going to use rosin. That's what we got. I don't want this to be a big thing. I don't want this to happen to me. So, and he said he just felt some stuff sticky on the inside of the glove. So all I used was rosin. I used it on both sides, arm, sweat, trying to keep that sweat from dripping down to the hands. That's the only thing I use rosin. That's about it.
When Hector came off the mound, obviously you guys aren't here. It's about 85 to 90% humidity today with the guy sweating. He had rosin, all over himself. Phil said he thought he had some sticky stuff in his glove. When you put rosin on sweat, it gets sticky. That's why they have a rosin bag back there. So, take it from there. It goes, the glove gets sent off, and, we'll see where it goes. But, our guys are doing the right thing. They're following the rule. The umpires are trying to do the best they can in a tough situation. He thought he felt something sticky. Rosin does get sticky when you put it on sweat. So we'll wait and see what happens.
Santiago's ejection comes in the wake of Major League Baseball announcing new guidelines earlier this month to crack down on pitchers using foreign substances. Now, if Santiago is suspended, the commissioner's office makes that decision. His spot on the 26-man roster cannot be taken by another player. Now, because of the makeup on Saturday's rain delay, Game 2 Sunday, it was just a 7-inning affair. Seattle lost that one 7-5. The Mariners made a comeback bid in the 7th with Mitch Haniger at the plate.
Jays having to play there last year and this year. There we go. Fly ball deep left. Giddy up, baby. Giddy up and gone. There you go.
Now you have a ball game.
Home run, Mitch Haniger. That is his second hit in this ball game. He's made it a 7-5 game.
Hendricks really trying to get loose in a hurry now. I'm sure he thought he had some more time, but there you go. Breaking ball, middle of the plate. 102 on the exit velocity. 392 feet.
Welcome sight.
Yeah. And Mr. La Russa out of the dugout on his way to the mound.
Too bad they couldn't play 9. The Mariners seem to be scoring all their runs late in the game. Anyway, they travel today. They're off to Buffalo to take on the Blue Jays, the first of 3 games tomorrow. All right, to the scoreboard we go. The Mariners and the Rangers, the only American League West teams to win series over the weekend. In Detroit, the Tigers' Robbie Grossman sacrifice bunt scored Alki Badu in the bottom of the 10th to beat Houston 2-1. Shohei Ohtani continues to star for Los Angeles. Showtime was a single shy of the cycle. He led the Angels to a come-from-behind 6-4 win at Tampa Bay. His 25th home run of the season was the game winner in the top of the 9th. The Rangers completed a weekend sweep of Kansas City with Sunday's 4-1 win. Joey Gallo's 2-run home run highlighted a 3-run first inning for Texas. And Aramis Garcia was 2 for 4 with a couple of RBIs to lead Oakland to a 6-2 win over San Francisco. The Giants taking 2 of 3 in the Bay Series over the weekend. The Wenatchee Apple Sox returned home from a 6-game road trip after being swept over the weekend by Corvallis. Despite scoring 4 runs in the 9th inning, Wenatchee dropped Sunday's finale 7-6 to the South-leading Knights. Joel Norman had the call on Sunny FM.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox scored 4 times in the 9th inning, but fell to the Corvallis Knights by a score of 7-6 on early Sunday afternoon at Goss Stadium. The game was moved up from a 1 p.m. start time down to a 10 a.m. start time because of the heat expected at Corvallis, and the Apple Sox had a chance to heat things up earlier as they had the bases loaded in the first inning, but Wenatchee unable to cash in, and Corvallis was either tied with the Sox or led them the rest of the way. As I mentioned, though, the Sox scored 4 runs in the 9th inning, including putting the tying run at second base, but Wenatchee ultimately was unable to bring him in and were swept by the Corvallis Knights. Monday's an off day for the Apple Sox, and then on Tuesday, they will be back at home hosting the Portland Pickles with a 7:35 p.m. start time. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you, Joel. Michael O'Hara had a 3-run triple in that 9th inning, and it was 2 for 4 in the game with 4 RBIs. Luke Stuka had a 2-run double. Washington State's Cameron Liss took the loss on the mound. With tomorrow's forecast high of 116 degrees here in the big city, the game against Portland has been moved to a later start time, 7:35. Unfortunately, the extreme temperatures will prevent our crew from broadcasting the game we were supposed to, but quite frankly, our equipment just doesn't operate particularly well when it's 116 degrees outside. Another West Coast League play. On Sunday, it was after midnight by the time Yakima Valley and Walla Walla finished its 16-inning marathon. I kid you not. The temperature went from 106 at first pitch to 78 by the time they finished at 12:05 a.m. That's when the Pippins won it on a balk with a runner at third in the bottom of the 16th inning. It was 104 in Longview when Cowlitz and Benz started playing on Sunday. 12 innings later, the Elks won it on Chase Matheny's 2-run double. It was 111 in Portland when the Pickles hosted Ridgefield on Sunday. Their game also went into extra innings before Portland got the walk-off win on Matt Jew's RBI base hit in the bottom of the 10th. It was only 91 in Bellingham when the Bells began non-league play against the Cascade Collegiate. Even still, the game was shortened to 7 innings because of the heat. Bellingham took advantage, scoring 4 runs in the 6th to win 5-1. Temperatures reaching into the mid-90s also forced Port Angeles to shorten its non-league game against the Northwest Honkers to 7 innings. The lefties came out on top, 15-3. Only one game on the schedule today. Corvallis will host the Portland Gherkins. Tomorrow's full slate: Corvallis at Bend, Yakima Valley hosting Port Angeles, Cowlitz at Walla Walla, Bellingham at Ridgefield, Wenatchee hosting Portland. Wenatchee's 2-4 road trip knocked the Apple Sox back to 3rd in the standings in the West Coast League's North Division. Yakima Valley leads. They're 10-5. Walla Walla 2nd at 7-8. Corvallis leads the South. They're running away with it now, 14-4. Ridgefield is 2nd. Portland comes to Wenatchee tomorrow at 7-8. Again, the game has been moved from 6:35 to 7:35 tomorrow night at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. And that is a look at what's making sports headlines, the games that people are playing at 34 minutes after the hour. The obscure holiday of the day today. We fondly remember Paul Bunyan and his big blue ox babe. It's National Paul Bunyan Day. Was he real? Kind of. They think it was a real guy, and it kind of dovetailed into this folk thing, according to various legends. I don't have time to explain it to you now. Paul Bunyan was one of the few children's books. They wrote a bunch of children's books around Paul Bunyan's exploits as a lumberjack in the upper Midwest and in Canada. When I was a kid, he didn't form the Grand Canyon, and Babe the Big Blue Ox didn't create the Great Lakes, but it's still a cool story. Happy Paul Bunyan Day today. Happy birthday to all of you lumberjacks, too. They're all celebrating birthdays today. It's 35 minutes after the hour. Today in history, oops, here we go. June 28th, 1914, 107 years ago today, Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria and his wife Sophie are assassinated in Sarajevo, and that began the various dominoes that started to fall that would eventually lead to World War I. What happened? Well, Austria-Hungary, they kind of just took a little section of Serbia. Nobody asked Serbia. There was a Serbian resident who wasn't real happy about that. He got revenge by killing the king of Austria-Hungary. Well, eventually ultimatums were issued. Austria-Hungary then declared war on Serbia. Germany and the Ottoman Empire had treaties with Austria and Hungary, so they got dragged in. Serbia had treaties with Britain and France and Russia, so they got dragged in on the other side. Italy had treaties with Austria-Hungary, Germany, and the Ottoman Empire, but they sat out the war, and then they joined the Allies. The other side, of course, eventually the U.S. was dragged in on the side of the Allies. When it was all over with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles, 17 million dead, 25 million wounded, and ironically enough, that was on June 28th, 1914, and on June 28th, 1919, 102 years ago, the Treaty of Versailles was, in fact, signed. That ended the state of war between Germany and the Allies of World War I. Of course, the armistice was back on November 11th, but the war wasn't formally over until this date in 1919, the anniversary of the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife. They negotiated for 6 months, but they got the deal done. And of course, the groundwork there led to World War II. By the way, China was the only member of either side who did not sign the Treaty of Versailles. They weren't happy about it. A little history lesson for you there. And June 28th, 1971, 50 years ago today, because of his celebrity and his importance, Muhammad Ali got something that very few American citizens will ever get. He got his appeal about, he was convicted of draft evasion. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison. His license to box was stripped from him. His heavyweight boxing championship was stripped from him because he refused to step forward. He said he was a conscientious objector. He took his case all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court, in an 8-0 ruling, said, Muhammad Ali, you were correct, and the Selective Service Commission was wrong. You are a conscientious objector, and his conviction of draft evasion overturned by the Supreme Court in an 8-0 vote 50 years ago today. Birthdays. Richard Rodgers, one half of Rodgers and Hart, and then one half of Rodgers and Hammerstein. Richard Rodgers was the one who wrote the music, and then Lorenz Hart, and then later on Oscar Hammerstein II would write the lyrics. The first person, Richard Rodgers, to win all of what is considered the EGOT. That's the top awards in all of the entertainment industry. That means he won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. They're called EGOTs. It's the rarest of all achievement among entertainers. The very first person ever to win an EGOT, Richard Rodgers, one of the greatest songwriters in this country's history, one of the great American songbook. Richard Rodgers, born in the state in 1902, died in 1979 at the age of 77. Mel Brooks, there he is. He was born Melvin Kaminsky. Changing his name to Mel Brooks is probably not a bad idea. The producers, Blazing Saddles, my favorite, Young Frankenstein, silent movie, High Anxiety, History of the World Part 2, Spaceballs, and many, many more helped create the sitcom Get Smart. The great Mel Brooks, 95 years old today. Kathy Bates, she was so good in Misery. She came out of nowhere, and boy, did she just own that movie. Kathy Bates, 73 years old today. John Elway, born in Port Angeles, Washington. Grew up in the Pacific Northwest for a great deal of his career. His dad ended up coaching, of course, at Washington State for a while. John Elway, when he retired, was considered the greatest quarterback perhaps of all time. 2 Super Bowl rings and a third as an executive. John Elway is 61 years old. And guess who's 50 today? There he is. Elon Musk, of course, born in South Africa. He's now an American entrepreneur. Last I checked, he's one of the richest men in the world, if not the richest man in the world. Elon Musk is 50 years old today. Somebody should tell him. Going to take a break at 40 minutes after the hour. Mike Magnotti's got a very apropos opinion. And then my conversation with Malachi Salcido of the Salcido Connection. We're celebrating America's birthday this Sunday, and his company is playing a big role in it. That conversation when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Raising a family may have seemed overwhelming to your parents, but they weren't. Coach, teacher, life guide, caregiver. Family takes care of family. And as the circle of life continues, you now are their caregiver. It may seem overwhelming, but we're here to help you find the support services necessary so you can provide quality care to your elders.
Call Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington at 1-800-572-4459.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu because we work to get you to work.
Happy summer from Collins Fashions in downtown Wenatchee. We are truly prepared for warm days with shorts, sports, capris, short-sleeve tees, tanks, and sandals. We have special occasion dresses, jumpsuits, tops, and slacks for your upcoming event. Our Tommy Bahama department for men and women are summer favorites. New fall fashions are arriving daily. Brighton is releasing new summer collections of jewelry and handbags to enhance your wardrobe. We have amazing service and selection at Collins, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
Boating in the Wenatchee Valley starts at Bob File Boats and Motors. Now you can fish like a pro without breaking the bank thanks to the Pro Mag aluminum fishing boat by Smokercraft. It features a great layout with a spacious bow casting platform, huge live wells, and in-floor storage to safely stow your gear. See the Smokercraft line of boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Bob File Boats and Motors, we're dealing. Bob File's gonna make you smile.
Hey folks, Carrie here from Blueberry Hills, here to welcome you back to all the delights of both indoor and outdoor dining. As things continue to normalize, you can expect the same great experience that's made Blueberry Hills a true family favorite for the last 20 years. We've added a few new items to the menu, but not to worry, because we're still serving up your old favorites too. So come on out to Blueberry Hills, where people fall in love at the very first bite.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. You know, what we've been wrong about heaven and hell. I realize that we've been taught about these places. It's really screwed up. First of all, hell isn't hot. No, it's not. I mean, you're supposed to be miserable there, right? So instead of being hot, hell must be colder than a well digger's butt with slush, ice, and terminally cold, wet feet. And heaven is supposed to be paradise, right? A place where you're both really comfortable, happy, and thrilled to be there. Okay. So heaven has got to be a place where it's warm, with warm salt water, cold beer, and garlic shrimp. But you know what else is going to be in heaven? Roller coasters, yes! Wild, crazy, upside down and corkscrew roller coasters with never a line you have to wait in. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Heaven. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that is my opinion.
To achieve greatness once, it's not the end of the journey. It is only the beginning. Introducing the next all-electric super truck. The revolutionary GMC Hummer EV SUV. Reserve one now while they last.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can lift this up to time warranty.
Great, I want that one. I would like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
Homeward bound, I wish I was homeward bound. Home, where my thoughts escaping. Home, where my music's playing. Home, where my love lies waiting silently for me. Silently for me.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on a drop-dead gorgeous summer morning. We are here at Walla Walla Point Park. You should be here at Walla Walla Point Park to celebrate our nation's birthday on Sunday, July the 4th. The Let's Have a Blast is back with the full entourage of things that we missed last year because of the COVID-19 restrictions. And one of the gentlemen who stepped up to the plate from day one, he's been a sponsor since this big celebration began by the Let's Have a Blast committee, is Malachi Salcido of the Salcido Connection. Thanks for joining me this morning.
Glad to be here.
It's good to see you. Why do you keep saying yes when it's easier to say no to the 4th of July committee? You've never even considered saying no. You've always said, I'm in, whatever I can do.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this is a celebration of our independence. It's also a celebration of community. It's something that the whole community gets to come together and do. It's free. And it's something that unifies us. Nobody's going to be picketing about the 4th of July celebration. And we need as many of those events, you know, both locally and nationally, right, as we can. So this is just a great opportunity for our community to come together and enjoy celebrating the greatest country on earth.
Amen to that. And it should be pointed out that Malachi and the Salcido Connection, it's not just the Let's Have a Blast 4th of July that they've always stepped up to help support financially and otherwise. You do that. You're all over the community helping out nonprofits and events like this, aren't you?
We are. We believe in giving back to our community. Our company's motto is life is all about people and relationships. So we're really focused on that, both with our employees and with the community at large. We love this community. This is where I grew up. This is my hometown. And so we've been blessed, and we want to share that blessing with everyone.
About the only real significant change from this year and 2 years ago, the last time they had a full-bore party here, the Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra won't be here to be performing the music to accompany the fireworks. Instead, doing the honors this year is the Wenatchee Big Band. Outside of that, everything is pretty much the same as it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it sounds like a blast. It's going to be a party, like you said, and Big Band's going to be a kick. I can't wait.
I can't wait either. We got lots of things to talk about. You're the title sponsor. That entails what exactly, Malachi? Your check clears the bank, so you're in? How does that work?
Yeah, I believe we're part of the promotional process. We're stage sponsors. Both of our companies pitched in, so both Salcido Connection and Salcido Enterprises pitched in. And yeah, we're just glad to be a part of what's going on.
Are you guys busy this time of the year in some of your more, Malachi's business does a lot of the high-end HVAC work, construction work, stuff like that. You've heard about this massive boom. Are you guys like busier than heck? You had to sit in your truck and answer a couple of phone calls before you even had a chance to talk. Super busy at Salcido right now?
Yeah, we are. Construction, you know, just what's going on right now is a combination of projects that didn't get done last year, and then the economic recovery, government injection of capital, and there's going to be a lot of capital development projects happening just in general in the United States, but especially in our region. I'm sure people have noticed people, both individuals and businesses, are moving to this region. This is one of the places where people want to be. So I don't expect that to change anytime soon.
When you do government work, of course, it's a bidding process. Lowest bidder wins. But when you do private stuff, what sets the Salcido connection apart when people say, I want a commercial HVAC unit for my office that I don't have to worry about the lowest bidder. I can pick the best. Why Salcido as opposed to all the other options? And there's a lot of options out there.
Yeah.
Why you guys?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say it's a combination of things. We have full mechanical, electrical, and building controls divisions. We do our own engineering and design. So we can literally take a project from here's what I want to accomplish to finished project. We general contract as well as work on those specialty subs. So we can be a one-stop shop for a customer to actually get a design completed and create what they want to. And we stand behind it. We're here. So they know where we live, and they know that we have a long track record of 20 years actually. We're celebrating our 20th year this year. So we have a long track record of doing projects well and then standing behind them.
20th anniversary, which means you're doing something right.
Yeah, we just feel blessed. Started in 2001. I started the company a month after 9/11. So if you can think back to that time, I think now that's like, what a time to be starting a business. But God has blessed us, and we've been through highs and lows, and 20 years later going strong. We have awesome employees who I consider our greatest asset, and we're just blessed to still be around and serving the community.
When you get a big project done, be it a government project for like the college or any of the other significant projects, when it's all said and done and you walk away from it, you get a certain endorphin release. Do you get to relax, Malachi, or is it on to the next project for you?
Oh, there's a feeling of accomplishment, not just for me, but for all of our employees. Every one of us treats it like it's ours. And so there's a feeling of immense pride having done a project and done it well. So you enjoy that for a few minutes, and then yes, it's on to the next one.
What's a good day for Malachi Salcido at the end of the day, which for you is probably about a 16-hour day, but what's a good day for you?
A good day for me involves several things. That my heart is right, that my priorities are in order, that I'm prioritizing people and relationships over things and money, and that I can see that flowing down into the rest of the organization. And if we all function like that, not only does everybody enjoy working together, our customers get blessed, and the financial results follow that. So I consider that a good day.
It's amazing what happens if you give your employees an ownership stake in that sense.
Yep.
In that, because it's amazing what they can do if well, quite frankly, they give a damn.
Yep.
And your employees give a damn.
Yep, they sure do. Yeah, we're blessed to have every one of them.
As does your company, because as I mentioned at the start of this interview, it would have been so easy for Malachi and the Salcido folks to say, we'd love to help you out this year. Let's have a blast committee, but we're going to pass this year and maybe come back next year. Your hand was up first as soon as they came to you.
Absolutely.
That speaks very highly of your organization. Anything
you.
else you want to touch on while I have you here? Then I'll wrap it up with some of the events coming up on the 4th.
No, I would just say invite everybody to come on down. Enjoy the 4th celebration. Enjoy community. Being outside, being together, celebrating our nation's independence. Can't wait to see you there.
There'll be lots of contests going on, lots of live entertainment all day long on Sunday, July 4th. As Malachi mentioned, his company is sponsoring the stage. The Wenatchee Big Band will be accompanying the fireworks display. They spend $25,000 on fireworks alone, and that's worth coming down here. And we talk about how if everybody donates like $2, this thing is funded for almost forever. They can put it in the kitty, and they can build up interest, and we don't have to ask people for money again. So donate, and remember this: there's nothing like watching a fireworks display where it happens. You can sit in a view house in Wenatchee or East Wenatchee and look at it from afar, But if you're here and you feel the concussions and
Yeah,
you're right on
exactly.
top of those fireworks, that's a whole nother deal, isn't
Yep,
it?
it's wonderful. You can't beat it.
I'm going to see you on Sunday, July 4th.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to it. Malachi Salcido from the Salcido Connection, proud title sponsor of the Let's Have a Blast 4th of July party coming up, which I believe this year will be on Independence Day. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
According to new statistics from the FTC, Washington consumers lost nearly $69 million to fraud in 2020, more than double the amount lost in 2019. Con artists are becoming even more sophisticated in their tactics, and new scams are emerging at an increasing pace. AARP is offering a free online class, Tip-Offs to Rip-Offs. Learn how to protect yourself and your community. Sign up for the virtual class today at aarp.org/Wenatchee Tip-Offs.
At Earthwise Pet, we take an all-natural approach to wellness and nutrition. Our professional certified groomers were trained by the best in the Pacific Northwest. Our staff here at Earthwise Pet are all certified in pet nutrition. We are here to help you select the perfect food, supplement, and anything else you may need to make sure your pet is living its best and most healthy life. Earthwise Pet, Nutrition Center and Wellness Spa. Online or in the store, we are here for you.
Flooring is the foundation of decorating. It sets the tone for your home and reflects your lifestyle. At Apple Valley Floors to Go, their goal is to help you make that choice a great experience. You'll find extensive flooring options at their beautiful East Wenatchee showroom. Engineered hardwoods, laminates, vinyl planks, carpeting. Do it yourself or have their professional installation team do the work for you. Family owned and operated in East Wenatchee.
All right, 82 degrees just before 8 o'clock here. Couple of slides to show for you. First of all, the excessive heat warning, as you know by now, it goes all the way through Thursday night. We're not going to, well, although we are going to cool down by the time we get to the weekend, it's all relative. We'll still be well into the triple digits. So if you live in the purple area that you see on your screen, it's going to be hot. There, I said that. And if worse comes to worse, we also have a red flag warning. That's just for the Columbia Basin. They're going to be expecting some easterly winds. The wind is going to blow from the east to the west as that high pressure ridge spins around clockwise and is bringing in some pretty hot air. And so they are very concerned about any fires that get going are just going to take right off. Relative humidity is going to be down in the teens. Record-breaking high temperatures and windy conditions. In fact, there's a significant wildfire of about 20,000 acres out in Lind, which is about 110 miles to the east of us. So, yikes, not good. Now, the numbers that you're going to see are jaw-dropping because this has never happened before, ever, since they started keeping track of these things. High today, 114. Our record high for today, 109. The all-time record high, 110. We're going to blow right past that today, and then we do it again with 116 or 117 on Tuesday, 114. These are not typos. This is the real deal. You have the combination of that massive ridge of high pressure that's parked right at the British Columbia-Washington state border. You got that stagnant ridge, the intensity of the June sun, and we are in a heat wave like we have never seen before now. The ridge is going to start shifting off to the east gradually on Wednesday. It's going to help moderate temperatures, but not much. I mean, we're still going to be blistering hot on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. For Independence Day, we'll still be well into the triple digits. By the time this thing is all said and done, we're going to go 6, maybe even 7 consecutive days with record high temperatures on those individual days, including both today and tomorrow, the all-time record high. That's it for us. Stay cool. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.